Well, it sure has been some time, at least it feels that way. Uh, was it Sunday? Yeah, and here we are. Weekend already. You know, sometimes Monday feels like Friday already, and Friday feels like Monday as we're starting again. But here we are with chapter 16 out of, I believe, 24 in the life of William Borden. Yeah, it's 24 chapters, so about 2/3 through right now. And thanks for joining us. Take a listen. It's from Moody Bible Institute, and hope that you enjoy this session. Here you go.
There she is, Charlie. The Tsatsawasa.
She's beautiful, Bill. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, wait till you see her with her sails unfurled, cutting through the ocean. Oh, I can hardly wait.
Ah, no wonder you were so anxious to get here to Camden. Look at the coastline. It really is different in Maine. More, I don't know, rugged.
That's the word exactly, Charlie. By the time we've spent a few weeks here this summer, next fall's schoolwork will seem like a snap.
Mr. Borden!
Captain Airy! Here's a wonderful old character, Charlie. A dear friend. Hello!
Oh, Mr. Borden, it's sure good to see you. I was wondering when you'd be getting here.
This is a school friend of mine, Captain Airy, Charlie Campbell.
Oh, any friend of Mr. Borden's is welcome here, Mr. Campbell. Oh, we sure were all sorry to hear about your father, Mr. Borden. Just wanted you to know.
Thank you, Captain Airy.
Your mother all right?
She's taken it very well, thank you. She should be arriving one of these days soon. We can hardly wait to get out on the Tsatsawasa, Captain.
I've had her shipshape for a week just waiting for you.
Come on, Charlie. Let's drop our things off at the house and go for a sail.
We greet our friends everywhere with Chapter 16 of This One Thing I Do, the story of William Borden. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, and comes to you from the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. William Borden, son of a Chicago millionaire, crowded his short life with service for Christ. One of the few relaxed periods in his life was the summer following the freshman year at Yale. Tired out from his studies and saddened by the recent death of his father, he invited his pal, Charlie Campbell, to spend the summer with him at Camden, Maine.
It's a good day for a sail, huh, Captain?
More of a wind out there than I thought.
Sometimes calm like Camden Harbor can be deceiving. How do you feel, Charlie? Got a sea stomach yet?
The beginnings of one, Bill.
Oh, you'll get used to it. We've only been sailing for a couple of weeks. By the end of the summer, you'll be as seaworthy as Captain Airy here.
Oh, thank you.
Who knows, Charlie? Maybe it'll be this voyage that makes a sailor out of you. We're going a little farther away this time.
How far is Beverly Farms?
All the way down into Massachusetts. But with the wind this strong, it may not take as long as I'd anticipated. Captain Airy, let one of the others take the wheel. I want to talk with you below.
Aye, aye, Mr. Borden.
Oh, Charlie. I wondered why I hadn't seen you for the last hour or so.
I thought I'd lie down for a while.
What do you think, Captain? Does Charlie's green go well with the rest of the cabin?
Oh, that's quite a blow out there, Mr. Borden.
That's what I wanted to talk with you about. It's turned into an out-and-out storm. We're just a little farther south than Portland.
You know what I think, Mr. Borden? That's a pretty bad blow out there. I can't remember tackling one this bad for a long time.
You think we ought to head for shelter, eh?
I've got strong leanings that way.
That's funny. I feel just the other way. We started out for Beverly Farms, and we're going right on until we get there. In fact, I think I'll go up and pilot the Tsatsawasa myself. Get a cup of coffee and dry out a bit before you come back out, Captain Airy. I'm going above.
hardly seems possible that the whole summer has passed.
Well, we've packed each day so full. I think Charlie's had a good time.
Oh, I'm sure he has. I think you both have.
Well, you know me. I have a good time anyway. I sure think a lot of Charlie.
Well, he seems to think a great deal of you, too, William.
Suppose so.
And you've been able to show him a very nice summer.
Well, more important, he's been able to show me whole new areas of Bible study.
Well, I seem to be the one who has profited most from our summer. I've appreciated what you both had to say, and so have the townspeople. More than one has expressed regrets to me that you were leaving for school so soon.
Charlie has a way of really making people like him.
You really don't see yourself, do you?
I don't know what you mean.
All that you've been saying about Charles Campbell is true of yourself, but you don't seem to see it.
I wish it were true of me.
Oh, my son, God must have great things in store for you.
I hope so, Mother. This summer, more than ever, I've realized that in every life, there's a throne and a cross. And if I'm on the throne in my life, Christ is on the cross. And if Christ is on the throne in my life, I'm on the cross. That's where I must be, Mother. Here, at school, wherever. He must be on my throne, and I on his cross.
Well, now that we're all here, what's this all about, Bill?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, classes begin in another week, and we'll be in our sophomore year, right?
Last I heard.
Well, along with the sophomore year comes the business of fraternities, right?
Business?
I don't get what you're driving at, Bill.
Well, I think we ought to think seriously about fraternities.
That's what most of the men here have been doing ever since they started their freshman year.
Sure. Why, Harris Cowan was telling me that he'd consider his whole 4 years at Yale a big failure if he didn't make Delta Kappa Epsilon within their first 10 votes.
You still don't quite get what I'm talking about. Well, what I mean is, are they right?
What?
Well, more precisely, is it right for a Christian to join them?
I've got to hand it to you, Bill. You don't take anything for granted, do you?
I try not to, Charlie.
I've never given it any thought at all. We're at school. Frats are part of school. So I try as hard as anybody to join them.
What makes you ask a question like that, Bill? Why would you even think that they might possibly be wrong?
Well, it's this whole business of secrecy that bothers me.
That's the way they are, Bill. A true frat brother tells no one anything at all about the internal workings of his fraternity.
And that's where I think we have to seriously consider the issue. As Christians, of course.
I still don't see
Well,
why.
as Christians, we're obliged to live completely open, transparent lives before others. As the Lord said, he didn't do anything in the dark, but was always open.
But a fraternity is expected to be secret.
That's my point. As a secret society, as something that cuts us off from a great many of our classmates, can we honestly join one?
There's another way of looking at this, Bill.
Good. I want to see it from every side.
Well, as we all know, all of the leaders on campus are frat men. Anyone who is anyone and who has any influence at all is a member of a fraternity.
I know that.
Well, the question comes to mind, how are we going to reach these men unless we join them in their fraternity? Most of them become so taken up with their organizations that they stop paying attention to anyone on the outside.
Which brings up another objection I feel about them. The cliquishness of the whole affair. Within the framework of a fraternity, I'm afraid I'd be compelled to forget the hundreds of others on campus that I'd want to work with, especially when we start up our Bible studies. I mean, talking with the leaders is necessary, but not at the expense of the rest of the school, Charlie.
You sound as though your mind is pretty well made up, Bill.
Well, not completely, Jim, but I have been giving it a great deal of prayer and thought. I wonder if, as a Christian, I can go into a commitment that I don't fully understand. As long as they remain secret societies, no outsider will completely understand until he becomes a member. I wonder if such a complete commitment to a man-made organization will hinder my already complete commitment to God. In short, I wonder if as a Christian I can join a secret society, whether it will hinder or help my work for Jesus Christ. These are the main issues that I keep tossing around in my mind, and that's why I wanted to talk with you fellas before making any decision.
Well, of course, the final decision to this rests with each one of us for himself, Bill.
Granted. But there is wisdom in the counsel of many, at least many dedicated men.
Suppose we all give this some thought, Bill, and talk again. We won't have to make any decision for at least another month, and that should be plenty of time for us all to look into the matter. Sit down, fellas. This is a kind of emergency meeting, fellas, and I thought inasmuch as Jim, Pop, and you, Bill, and I have been together on other matters, we ought to be together on this one.
What's on your mind, Charlie?
Well, today's the day that class deacons are elected.
That's right.
And the men who will be elected today will act as our class deacons for the remaining 3 years, men. And, well, they'll be responsible for representing us in the college church. And they'll be in charge of the religious activities of the class. Well, we can't afford to have just anyone in these offices.
Well, that's for sure.
Sounds good to me.
So I've called this little prayer meeting to ask God to put the right men in and to help them as they lead our class in spiritual matters.
I'd emphasize the help part. For all we know, one of us might be in their number.
The elections have already begun. Let's go to prayer.
I can't believe it.
Makes me feel kind of silly.
As though we all got together and prayed ourselves in.
All 4 of us, class deacons.
That you over there, Bill?
Yes. Is that you, Jim?
Right. I was just on my way back from the library. What are you doing out here all alone?
Thinking. Praying.
That fraternity business still got you going?
Uh-huh.
Well, I have a feeling you really want to join one, Bill. That's just my opinion, of course.
Why do you say that?
Well, because any other time I've ever known you to be hesitant about whether something was right or not, you've always just dropped whatever it was. Remember? When in doubt, don't.
I remember.
Well, now, along comes a pretty big thing in the life of us college men, and you're hesitating all over the place.
I can't convince myself it's right, Jim.
But you also can't convince yourself you don't want to do it, huh?
That's right. Those other things you talked about, well, some were easy, some were a little harder, but they weren't anything like this.
Well, like Pop said, the final answer rests on each of us for ourselves. As far as I know, he and Charlie and I are all going to join if we're asked.
And you will be. Let's be realistic.
Sure. And so will you. Are you going to accept?
No.
You are?
I can't. Look at me. For the past how many weeks trying to talk myself into the virtues of the fraternities, when all along I knew I couldn't honestly join one. My rebellious heart. I don't grudge you or Charlie or Pop your decisions, Jim, but I cannot. No matter how hard I try, I cannot convince myself that fraternities are either good or necessary, at least from a Christian point of view. Thanks, Jim.
For what?
For reminding me, for showing me what I was doing, playing around with what I knew to be God's decision for me rather than just doing it. You know, I might even be able to really pray again. Thanks, Jim. Thanks very much.
And so we conclude Chapter 16 of This One Thing I Do, the story of William Borden. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, and comes to you from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.
but chapter 16 of 24, William Borden. That was a tough decision. Whether to follow the Lord and the guys are trying to win someone who is not all that winnable. It's kind of like being unequally yoked. Leave your thoughts and comments. Thanks for joining us. And may the Lord be with you as you also struggle with some things in your life. It's always good to take these to the Lord in prayer, and that should free you up like it did William Borden. Well, till next time, may the Lord bless and keep you. I look forward to seeing you, Lord willing. Until then, God bless. Tune in tomorrow for chapter 17, and we'll see you then, Lord willing. God bless.